Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast series dedicated to essential topics for entrepreneurs considering immigration to Canada. Today, we have the special honor to speaking with Dr. Marat Ressin, the president of York Entrepreneurship Development Institute. We aim to gain valuable insights into YEDI's programs and how they support entrepreneurs, especially those interested in the startup visa program. Dr. Ressin, thank you for joining us.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Anna, for having me.
Could you please provide an overview of YEDI and its programs, and how does YEDI distinguish itself from other business incubators in Canada?
Well, YEDI is an academic institute. It's a charitable organization. It's a business accelerator and incubator and entrepreneurial hub and venture fund. As you understand now, it's like one-stop shop for innovative entrepreneurs who want to start or grow their startup business in Canada and North America in general. We are located in Toronto, around York University. And we are proudly sector agnostic, I have to say. And we're happy to apply all our resources and tools to help entrepreneurs to succeed.
My next question is about this innovative component. So, as a designated organization, YEDI provides entrepreneurs with a letter of support, which is a crucial document for those applying for the startup visa. And one of the key requirements of this program is that the startup must have an innovative component. So, at the time of application, does a startup already has to be innovative, or YEDI can assist in meeting these criteria?
For those who come from other countries, Government of Canada has an immigration program called Startup Visa, and YEDI, as you may know, is one of the designated entities under this program. So we are appointed by the Government of Canada to select the best startups to come to Canadian market. This to say that we are appointed in two streams. One is as business incubator, and another one is venture fund. Now, of course, it should be some interesting idea. It's not like we take from somebody from the street and okay, let's dig into your mind and see what kind of great idea you can bring us. Of course, people need to bring some ideas. As a charitable organization, we make sure that our programs are as accessible as possible, and therefore they're very competitive. So for some of the programs of ours, we have up to 30 applications per seat.
Wow.
Yeah. This allows us to select the best projects and, of course, work with them.
For now, I wanted just to ask you of this restriction that RSCC implemented this April. So now there are quotas on the number of letters of support that designated organization can issue annually. So how have these changes impacted YEDI, and what effect do they have now on the prospective students?
This is the government's decision, and we just follow their decision. We have to cooperate with them, of course. Since, as I mentioned, we designated under two streams, we have quota of 10 ventures under one stream and another 10 ventures under another stream,
right?
Which is 20 altogether. We have many people who actually come through our programs, and they just wait until we have an opening.
I just wanted to check if you have any example where a student has been rejected a letter of support. What were the common reasons for those rejections?
First of all, statistically, under startup visa, it's approximately, specifically incubator stream, because VC stream is not much less popular, and statistics is less accurate. But incubator stream, overall in the industry, the rejection rate is 30%, about 30%, which is a lot. We at YEDI have almost none. And there's a reason for that. As I mentioned, we try to select the best, and we work with startups. So normally what happens, people come to our program called International Program, which is a 2-week intensive full day every day, can be taken from within Canada or online. And we teach people how Canadian market works, how to successfully jump to this market and win it. A few rejections that we had, they mostly related to some issues that people have themselves, not related to the project. Like, for example, somebody may have issues with the criminal record, somebody may have issues with health conditions. We work hard to make sure that the files we submit to the government are perfect, not just good. They have to be perfect because we want to keep our level high. It's for our best interest. And of course, first of all, it's for our partners' best interest, right?
We at CBGA have many clients who come from Asia, Eastern Europe, Middle East, and they often wonder what level of English is necessary to succeed in a business incubator program.
They just have to be able to understand us, and we have to be able to understand them. We don't necessarily require specifically documented level of English, but people have to come through YEDI selection process, and they will have interview, and therefore we will understand if people actually can communicate with us or they cannot yet, right? However, at later time when they will apply to the government, they will have to provide them document with their level of English. I trust it's like 5 out of 12, which is not that high.
So we mentioned a few times the selection process and how competitive it is. And could you please elaborate on the overall enrollment process in maybe what criteria does YEDI prioritize when selecting candidates?
We have 3 levels of selection. At the first level, we deselect projects which are not innovative. On the second level, we have special selection committee that selects the projects without knowing who owns the project. And on the third level, the applicants undergo the interview where we want to see this entrepreneurial spark in the eyes.
And if we're talking about a business project itself, is there any documentation should applicants on any stage prepare prior to admission?
At the point of original application, we just need the description of the project. Because originally people just come to our educational program where we understand during the program, we try to understand their project deeper. We try to let them understand how Canadian market works and how we can collaborate all together. At the end of the educational program, we send them the link and they have to submit a big number of documents, which is business plan, business model canvas, financial projections, and all that stuff, and all the other documents that the ministry requires. We help them to make sure that their project looks perfect. Okay, so when our processing department is happy with the file, it comes back to me and to other directors of YEDI, and then we finally okay this project, and then it may be submitted to the ministry, and we issue so-called letter of support, showing the government that we decided to support this venture.
And once an entrepreneur receives letter support and arrives in Canada, they are required to be a resident of the business incubator, as far as I know, at least a year. And could you please elaborate on this residency, what it includes and what responsibility it plays on the startup owner?
We're talking about the incubator stream. The idea of the incubator stream is for incubators to select the ventures who will stay with them, right? So the startups will sign with us an agreement. At the moment we issue the letter of support, they'll have to sign an agreement with us, stating that they have to stay in our business acceleration campus. We have 2 of them, big campuses here around York University in Toronto. After the year, if the startup wants to go, they're welcome to go. Otherwise, they may stay with us. We have, in our business acceleration campuses, we have different options. We have manufacturing facilities. We have even food manufacturing facilities.
Wow.
We have medical facilities, labs. We have TV studios. We have a theater. We have a co-working space.
I love this.
Yeah. And we have one campus which is more hands-on and another one which is more fancy, I can say. This to say that YEDI is a charitable organization, tries to charge as reasonable as possible. And I have to say that renting the space with us is a few times cheaper than generally speaking on the market. Now, those who go through VC stream, they don't have to stay in our campuses, but most of them actually choose to stay in our campuses because it's easier and it's closer to program advisors and other people that they have to work. And many of them say, this place is blessed, we don't want to go anywhere.
Just one moment to clarify about the campuses and the structure of the study groups. Is it necessary to study offline, or is there an option for online learning?
All our auditoriums equipped with special technology that allows people to participate in the programs online. It's not just Zoom or something like this. It's like your avatar is sitting in the classroom, because we have cameras, we have microphones everywhere.
Well, that sounds great. And now I have a question about those individuals who are not currently entrepreneurs and maybe do not have a specific a startup idea, but they wish to gain a general understanding how business operates in Canada. Do you have any programs that would be most beneficial for these individuals?
So first of all, I encourage everyone to go to our website, which is YEDI.ca, YEDI.ca. So for example, for people who want to really dig inside entrepreneurship and understand how it works, we have a year-long diploma program. On top of everything, YEDI is a licensed college. So we can issue official diplomas approved by Ministry of Higher Education of Ontario. So people may come for a year for this program. This program is nothing else as a 2-year MBA in entrepreneurship squeezed into 12 months, because normally university 2 years is like 8 months plus 8 months, altogether 16. But we know that entrepreneurs, they cannot wait. They always, right? So we squeezed it into 12 months. So it starts in September and ends at the end of August. Now, who study in these programs? It's either people who have their startup ideas and they want to know deeply how entrepreneurship works, and specifically here in Canada, or people who want to lead somebody else's startup projects. Because we're university people, right? So we have many academics who develop something, but they cannot and they don't want to manage their startups, right? So they need people who will do it for them or with them. And therefore, graduates of this program may have very good chance to find this kind of job immediately.
Oh, that's great. As we know, Canada has this strong emphasis on networking, and you already mentioned the connections you have. Could you please elaborate? Does YEDI have a specific partnerships or networks that enhance the educational experience and help graduates build connections?
Of course, we have partnerships and connections with almost everyone who may be essential. Any industry, any association, any province, any ministry. By the way, during this 2-week intensive program, the international program, as I mentioned, we also, even during the program itself, we connect participants with important organizations here in Ontario. For example, after almost every lecture, we have this session that connects students with representatives of organizations that may be of help. And at the end of the program, we make a presentation session, or as we call it, venture fair. And we invite people who may be of help for the startups as well. We don't invite investors for the international program, because they're not ready yet for the market here. Also, all the graduates of our programs, all our programs, become part of the YEDI community, and we make different events. Like YEDI campuses is a very live place.
You mentioned a few times that YEDI also is a venture fund, and I was wondering, what sectors does this fund support? How can one apply, and what types of startups are eligible for funding?
First of all, as I said, we are proudly sector agnostic. So there are no specific sectors. However, our venture fund is created to support our programs. So the applicants must be graduates of any programs of ours, including the international program, for example. Of course, when startup is located somewhere overseas, it's hard for us to make this decision. According to the regulations of our venture fund, we cannot invest more than $500,000 in one startup. We also don't like to stay long in one startup, and the reason for that, we need the money to support other graduates of our programs, right? It's not exactly the venture fund like others, because it's more works as support for the educational programs, not all the way around. We do invest, and we also invest into international startups.
That's
Of course, yeah, it is to mention the requirements of startup visa is that the designated venture fund have to invest at least $200,000 to the startup. Also, I want to say, because pretty often it's a problem, that the government doesn't like the situation when we invest and we cannot control the startup enough. Like, for example, we invest and get, I don't know, 1.5% of the startup and no position in the director's board and something like that. So that may be a problem as well. But we still find the way to do it, and we do it. Sometimes, and it's a very good situation, by the way, when entrepreneurs come to us and they already have their own investor, their country, from the States, from Canada, from wherever. That investor may co-invest with us as limited partner. You know how any VC works. So the VCs collect money from limited partners and then invest and then share the profit with the partners. That's exactly what happens with us. So when an if startup comes and wants to go through VC stream and they said they have their own investor, it simplifies everything.
I think we've covered everything I had for today. Thank you very much, Dr. Ressin, for taking the time to share and explain how YEDI supports entrepreneurs on the business immigration journey to Canada.
Thank you, and all the best to you, to your company, and to all the viewers.
Thank you, and that's it for today, folks. Stay tuned for more tips and advice on entrepreneurial journey to Canada.